What is up, bros? Josh here. In today's video, we're going over version 2 of the 6-star wonder, the USS Georgia, the Tier 9 USN battleship. Now, this is still work in progress, so stats are subject to change, but this thing has gone through a makeover to now get to the version where we are now. If you guys didn't see on the dev blog a little while ago, they announced the changes to this, and it's basically a wargaming-esque change to a premium ship like this. In the original version of the ship that we went over, the Georgia, I thought was pretty close to being a balanced ship. I thought it maybe could have used a little bit of love. At the time, it was just a 6 big gun ship. This time, Wargaming has gone out of their way to just go, we're going to give you a bit of everything, and now you are basically a new ship. And as you can see, I'm a USN battleship with a speed boost. That's one of the massive changes that has hit this ship. So the ship itself is still a 6-gun Tier 9 battleship, and that brings its goods and bads, and we'll go over that in a bit. But the main changes to this ship are the change to the secondaries, which were buffed from 7.5 kilometers to, or from 6 kilometers to 7.5 kilometers. And then the repair party was changed from the Gascons to the Colorados, so it's a pretty solid increase on the heel as well. And then also the speed boost to, which was added. And if you know, it's a French speed boost, which means that it is a big increase to the speed in general, more than other nations. And the reason being, it's a 15%. It is a tier 6, tier 7 cruiser, which is a 15%. As they get higher, it is a 20%. So it is pretty nuts, and this guys now won't get out of my way. But basically what's happened is they have turned this battleship into a big gun slamming battleship, into a big gun slamming battleship that can flex really fast because it has almost a 40 knot speed, 39.79 as your top speed, almost 40 knots. And then on top of that, you will have, with all of the flags and consumables and all the modules, a range of 11.3 kilometers on your secondary range. So this thing has turned into what I thought was kind of close to being a balanced ship to now being what could be a really like a monster of a battleship, and actually quite fun to play. I kind of found it pretty fun to play in the first version, but now it has just so many more tools to really make it a lot more fun. And I feel like maybe Wargaming went a little too far on this and kind of overbuffed it a bit, if you wanna do that. Now, the downside of this ship is it's going to be 6 guns, and you're gonna see a pretty solid game here. This is the highest damage game we had in this ship. And there were other games where we still had some pretty solid games. The ship averaged decent damage throughout, but there were games where we had damage like this game, and then there were games where we just 6 guns, lower the guns, the higher the inconsistencies of said ship. Apparently our Lightning didn't want to play anymore, so a bit of a bummer here, and he's going to go down because he's charging right into a New Orleans and an Otago, as well as another DD. But inconsistencies, that's still the thing that's going to cause problems with this ship. You know, something else, because majority of the time you're going to be semi-bow in and not showing your broadside, so you will still only get 4 of those guns normally on target. So obviously the lowest at this tier, but they're still extremely large. So kind of that trade-off. Now the Scharnhorst is going in. He saw the Lightning, knows that, hey, the bad guys must be gone now, so he's going to go in and give it a chance here. So what are you going to do with randoms? But this thing has turned into a monster. It has pretty solid secondaries. If you enjoy the Massachusetts, you will enjoy this ship. And you have the speed boost, so if you're like me, you know that if ships are fast, they are basically amazing because of how teams are right now. The ability to flex back and forth, and I use flex meaning using your speed to get from one end of the map to the other, being able to kind of make up for it. If you all know, kind of high tier games especially are can go from good to bad very quickly, and teams can be very inconsistent, as you see a Lightning YOLOing and then a Scharnhorst YOLOing into a bunch of players. So you can see that being able to flex from one side to the other is a luxury when it comes to a lot of ships. So this is something I really like this, but man, almost 40 knots in a tier 9 battleship is kind of insane, if you will, for that speed. You're talking cruiser level speed, fast cruiser level speed, faster than destroyers. If you are a DD that is caught out, you are going to have some problems with this because you'll never get away from this battleship. It's just way too fast. That French speed boost is insane. Also, we have an Asashio in this game on the red team, so he's going to be picking on this. You'll see a couple good shots by this, but again, a bit robbed on the broadside right there. Again, that is... So there's some amazing parts of this ship, but the downsides are still the things that were the downsides from last time. The downsides were you only have 6 guns, or as you see, basically 4 going out, and it's just you can only get so consistent when it comes to that, and that's really one of the biggest downsides. Although you can actually take, I took the accuracy module instead of the reload one. I feel like the accuracy is just so important to take, but you can see the big gun damage against this Nagato. That we're going to keep pumping consistent damage in, no matter really the angle. Strong pushes in, ends up getting a kill on one of the cruisers, but just like the fate of our YOLOing Lightning, the Scharnhorst is going to have the same. But yeah, still, I quite enjoy the ship. And just misses right there. I quite enjoy the ship right here. I feel like they maybe just did too much. Kind of wargaming-esque. Instead of just making some small tweaks, they kind of throw a bunch of stuff at it. You will get shots like that where the shells are so big that they do hit, but overall the downsides from the first version are still the downsides with the second version, but you will start to get some more upsides with the secondaries and with the speed boost on it as well. So it is kind of a nice upside. One update we do have from the first video is how this ship will actually be sold, and Wargaming announced it will be sold for coal, but there was no set amount on how much it will be sold. So coal, if we're going to be looking at both the Jean Bart and the Salem, I assume it's going to be somewhere within there. You are a battleship, so battleships tend to be a higher price, but you are tier 9, so will it be as much as the Salem? I don't know. Coal prices, just like free XP prices, will probably continue to increase, so something to keep in mind there. I imagine it'll be probably less than 300,000, obviously, but somewhere more than the Jean Bart right now. That's my guess. We have no official number on what it exactly will be. So a bit of a bummer too, as you see, top right corner right here, both of our DDs. One DD YOLO'd be, 2 DDs went all the way around trying to snipe a CV or something like that, and they're actually going to get killed. So this game is going to go bad pretty quick when it comes to map control, as we have a CV that isn't going for destroyers, and as you see, the first step strike from the Asashio. An Asashio out with nothing really contesting it, that's going to be a bad day when it comes to this game. But the Georgia will still get things done. Now, even with the current version, would I take this over other stuff? I think I would if I wanted to just have some fun. The ability for this ship to go so fast is nice. The ability for it to have some fun secondaries like the Massachusetts would, or the a German battleship would. There is a lot of fun when it comes to this. However, one of the best examples is when I was talking to my stream. We stream all these games live on Twitch. You can go check us out, twitch.tv/Mijash. Is if ranked season was tier 9 again, I still don't think this would be a top tier battleship. I still don't think it would be better for the rank setup like Jean Bart or the Musashi. I still feel like those tried and true battleships there are going to continue to kind of just reign supreme, and they kind of always will. Main thing being is the 6-gun problem. It's too prevalent, and I know I'm probably repeating myself so much when I talk about it, but that is the biggest glaring problem about this ship. There's a reason why the Gneisenau now isn't one of the best ships when it comes to tier 7, although it has great speed, great maneuverability, good torps, all these things going for it, and a good reload, but it only has 6 guns. You look at things that are more consistent, stuff like the Colorado and Nagato. These are just things that are tried and true, and when you get to kind of a competitive. But having these secondaries, you can honestly just let them do amazing work, and that's the best part about this. If you've ever played something like the Massachusetts, you can get into situations, which you'll see in a little bit here, where secondary is on one target, main battery is on another, and you can kill 2 things at one time. And you will see a perfect example of that in just a second. Also, you will have the advantage within close quarter combat with a lot of ships because of, and the Sasho gets another kill. There you go. Shout out to our DDs and our CVs for not focusing on the destroyers, mainly the Sasho. And he will be the terror of everybody. We all know, if you've ever played battleships, what an Asashio is like. But really, this ship now is, in my opinion, a lot more fun. It maybe even overtuned it a tad. We could maybe see a small balance back down because of its just... I don't know. I almost said consistency. Its ability to just do so much. Maybe we'll see it like this. I'm not sure what Wargaming's plan with the final version of this ship is, but right now this ship is much better than what it originally was. The reason being is you have so many more tools to work with. You have these secondaries, which are fantastic. You have this heal, which is amazing. You have the speed boost, which is unlike really anything else at this tier, besides like the Jean Bart and the Alsace. So for USN to have the ability to tank and the ability to now flex to another side of the map, that is something that is amazing, and is something that is a complete luxury. So definitely made the ship a lot more fun. We're gonna do a nice little drive-by, and as you see, this game has gone from decent to terrible pretty quickly, and a nice little drive-by. Big old guns, and there you go. Boop. So 115k, 2 kills already. And this is the example you're going to get right here with me focusing on one ship, secondaries on the Lexington, and we're going to start pumping out damage on other ships and try to clean up as much as we can. You can probably imagine the outcome of this game with kind of where everyone else is. But this is what I love about this ship and secondary style ships. Again, if you are a Massachusetts fan, that secondary style life, you'll like this ship. I really think you will. The thing is, though, it's tier 9. You're going to be playing against lots of tier 10s. You're playing against a lot of CVs, and you will have some problems with that. We did take the fighter plane as well, so we got to knock out a little bit of that. But still, tier 8 planes are going to get through against tier 9. There were things we could have buffed up the secondaries a little bit more with, that being the last slot, which had secondary mod. I didn't want that. I want the main battery to get as accurate as possible. As you see, the secondary numbers just popping off. Now, we did have pretty much a full secondary captain on this. We had AFT, inertia fuse, and this is my Massachusetts captain, inertia fuse, and we had the manual secondaries. So we clicking on that, and as you see, we're already up to 122 hits and growing extremely fast. So we could have probably maybe finished it off there, but trying to focus on one thing, using those secondaries to really get stuff done. And as you see, basically killed the ship without really having to even worry about the ship by ourselves. And we've also pumped in what, like 40,000 damage onto this Colorado in the process. 232 hits right here. And but yeah, we're trying to make it happen, but you can only do so much with a team. And I think we get a little lucky here. Yeah, pretty lucky on that salvo from him, and there you go, Colorado. Sorry, 200,000 damage, and our last little effort, our last hold here that we're trying to do and salvage whatever we can from this game. And so a bit of a bummer. We had destroyers not go after DDs, and we had CVs not focus on DDs. So now what happens, especially when an Asashio is there, that Asashio will cause you all kinds of problems, as it did. And as you see, an Asashio has 4 kills. But you also see here, again, one of the downsides I did see with the USN secondaries is not many of them face forward. That's one of the downsides. As USN, yeah, you're not going to be bow tanking all the time, but a lot of your secondaries, that's a perfect example of what you can get with this ship. Again, you would have had basically would have 50% more shells going out when it came to this ship, or if you were in maybe the Iowa, but we wouldn't have done as much with the secondaries. I felt this was like a really good game to show off the strengths and also weaknesses of this ship. But again, you're only shooting 4 shells bow in. There's not much else you can really do, and that's all you get. So not many situations, especially when you're trying to like tank like this. I have basically a gun that's wasted. And one thing I did notice too a lot with the big caliber shells is that you And I think we get a little unlucky here. Oh, no, we get it. Okay, good. So, yeah, but we had a last little hold here. We will eventually get killed. There's only so much we could do. We were broadside to a Musashi, and we are also broadside to an Atago. So just not much we can really do here. But we tried our best to hold it down, and we just needed a little bit of help. But we ended up getting 6 kills. I think we got a little bit more damage here. We're just going to eventually die. Tago's going to smack us for like 6k. We did dodge the Asashio torch, so I did guess that correctly. But it's only a matter of time. And but anyways, it was pretty fun. So wanted to show you the newest version of the Georgia. Again, it has been announced that the ship will be sold for coal, and we just don't know how much yet. We also know that it did get the buffs, so this version, still work in progress though, will have 7.5 kilometer base range on the secondaries, can get buffed out to 11.3 with all the modules, AFT, and flags. The speed boost was added, which is a 15% speed boost, and with the flag there as well, you can almost get up to 40 knots. Also, it had the Colorado heel instead of the Gascon, but still a pretty solid game. This is an outcome that we basically, this is an outcome that only this ship could have gotten this game, with the amount of secondaries, the ability to just kind of one target, main battery on one, secondaries on another, shot down a bunch of planes, got 6 kills, and we didn't really like steal really that many kills. We got some decent chunks there, so lots of damage. This ship has tons of potential, but again, the downsides of this ship are still the 6-gun layout, and it's 6 shells max that are going out most of the time, and a lot of the angles and the positions you'll be in, you're gonna have a max of 4. So again, that will be the downside, some inconsistencies there. So lots of new toys. Still overall a little inconsistent for me to absolutely love this ship, but I definitely do like this version. It's much more fun having the speed and secondaries. But anyways, guys, wanted to show you the most recent version. We've gotten version number 2. Work in progress, so we don't know what the live version will look like, but we do know a few more things. But anyways, guys, that's it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.